Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of iTrek. Major shout out to the chat. Huge shout out to all the fam in the building, man. Hey, let's go ahead and get Monday started off right with a brand new episode. And if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all around the internet and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. As always, you're definitely going to need to do some critical thinking and definitely don't believe everything that you see. Before we get into any of that, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and subscribe if you're not already part of the iTrek fam, man, and let's get straight into it.
The Pentagon released a new trove of UFO files. The 72 videos, images, and reports date back to the 1940s. One video from July of last year appears to show red orb-shaped objects moving in tandem. Another video the Pentagon described as plasma-like sphere that changed in shape as it hovered above a pond for 45 minutes before disappearing. This is the Pentagon's third batch of declassified UFO files released this year.
Now, if this is their third batch they're actually releasing to the public, I'm gonna need them to get serious. Everything they've released thus far is not impressive, and we really want to know about them reptiles.
So how would you draw the line between national security and the public's urge to know?
I think the public's urge to know is more like a right to know. If the unknown is known by a very small group of people, the injustice of not everyone knowing what they know is kind of what drives me, especially to tell the story of Disclosure Day. When you look at it, the one thing that hasn't changed, the one thing that could be considered mythology, which is ufology, but when you look at the consistency of the reporting, how it's so consistent for 80 years, I am on much firmer ground now, certainly with all the circumstantial evidence that's out there, for me to believe that, you know, they're here.
And you know what else drove him to do this movie, right? Them cutting that check. Even though he's already incredibly rich, so I'm not sure that's so valid.
All of you have been made aware of the psychic in Brazil that is claiming now, and I actually believe her, that this month at a very large sporting event, a mothership is going to appear over top of said sporting event in Miami. And in that moment, full disclosure and the reality that interdimensional beings, extraterrestrials, aliens exist will be confirmed, because this mothership, she is claiming, this psychic in Brazil is claiming that 700 people, including players at this event, will be sucked up in the air into the spacecraft. Now, if you're also not aware, there have been hundreds of videos coming out of Brazil over the past week and a half of motherships and UAPs hovering above their country.
Look closely to the background.
I'm about to watch Planet of the Apes, specifically the newest one.
That's the fourth one, right?
Yes, that is the fourth one. I'm super excited about it, and
What?
that guy. You see that guy?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen airplanes dropping boxes of ticks out of the sky before? Well, now you have.
Like I said in my presser on Tuesday, I did get access to crash retrieval photos and everything, so I've seen the recovered vehicles and everything. So I would say that's probably the most stupendous thing, earth-shattering thing that changed my worldview when I got access to some of that years ago. And I do hope the administration, and I think they will, release that information in a further drop.
David, I gotta just jump in real quick there and give you a chance to talk about these crash site vehicles, because you got the hair on my wrist standing up. Just real quickly, I don't want to filibuster Joey here, but I'm very into this.
You got it.
Tell me about these crash sites that you've seen personally.
Yeah, a lot of them looked like what we saw. Some of the reporting dropped on Friday. There was a 1948 memo from the Chief of Naval Operations that discussed the flying disc pandemic that they were having, and they were enlisting help of the Air Force Intelligence Service. A lot of it was lenticular discs. Some was crescent moon shaped. I call it the flattened sunfish. There's a bunch of different morphologies that the U.S. government has recovered, from eggs to discs to crescent moon, boomerang type vehicles, and I got a small smattering sample of that of ones that have landed or crashed on the surface of the earth.
You're gonna like this. What did God take out of Adam to create Eve? A rib. And what are one of the only bones in a human body that can actually regrow itself? Ribs. And what do those ribs surround in the human body? The heart. And how many ribs are in a human body again? 24. Now check this out. And the 24 elders who sit on their thrones before God fell on their faces and worshiped God. That verse is talking about heaven. 24 elders sit around Jesus like human ribs, and Jesus is the heart of our faith.
Fun fact of the day. The flag of the United States has 50 stars representing the current 50 states and 13 stripes representing the original 13 states. However, when Vermont and Kentucky were admitted as the 14th and 15th states, not only were 2 more stars added to the flag, so were 2 more stripes, resulting in a 15-star, 15-stripe flag that was used from 1795 to 1818, when the number of stripes was reverted to 13 and the number of stars continued to increase.
I just found the creepiest McDonald's in the world. Check this out. Right, at first glance it looks like a normal McDonald's, right? But then you come over here and you see this glass on the floor. Okay, a little bit weird, but whatever. But then you look down here, see what that is? It's a little bit hard to tell. Let's go get a closer look. This is a literal archaeological area. We're gonna go down into here and check this out. Oh my gosh. So this is what it looks like when you come down the stairs. When they were building this McDonald's, they uncovered an ancient Roman road, but that's not all. They also found bodies here, and they decided to leave them and preserve them. Not 1, but 2. How crazy is this? You can be eating your burger right above and then just have a skeleton right here. This is my table right here. And this is the outdoor seating area in children's playground. And then the ancient Roman road. Absolutely wild.
Today, I can announce that the government will ban access to social media for all children under the age of 16. Social media is making children unhappy. It's making it easier for bullies to harass and abuse them. And it could even be harming their mental health, exposing them to content that is dangerous, because that's what grabs the attention. It's designed to be addictive.
The World Cup ceremony is just the beginning of a mass ritual, and the first symbol that gives that away is this right there. You can see the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye is a symbol of the soul, because you are not your mind, you are not your body, you're the eternal witness or observer behind them, observing them. So all of these people are observing it, they're giving it their soul, their 2 spiritual currencies, time and attention. This is now the altar. They're worshipping this. This is an altar because that's where you spend your time and attention. Then, secondly, you look here. This is the beehive, which looks like a honeycomb, because all of these people are the bees, which is a symbol of the collective consciousness. All the bees work together to create this honeycomb, which is all the people here, a collective consciousness, giving their time and attention and emotions to this ritual. So it's a symbol of wasting your awareness, wasting your time, your body, your attention, and emotional manipulation, because that's what a ritual is. A ritual is something you repeat over and over to change the function of consciousness. This is an emotional manipulation, energy wasting ritual.
Oh, this is wild. This is mad. What they have just done sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but I can assure you is actually real. So researchers have taken a pig's heart that had been dead for hours. I'm not talking about this pig literally was about to die and then they took its heart. It had been dead for over an entire hour and they managed to get it beating again and bring it back to life. Not with electricity, not with some crazy machine or time travel, but by using a special serum and fluid designed to protect and restore cells after death. This is mad. At the moment when organs are donated, doctors are racing against time, hearts, lungs, kidneys, because they all start dying immediately as they're taken out of the body. Obviously, this results in thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of organs being lost every single year, and it goes to waste. But if this actually works in pigs already, there's a very good chance it will work in humans. And we would then be able to preserve organs, repair them, maybe even restart them from someone who's dead. Which means this one experiment on a pig's heart could literally change medicine forever, and who knows what could actually come from this.
You're not gonna believe this.
Alright, this is creeping me out a little bit, but I don't know if it's a sign. My projector's on, but it's not connected to anything. There's no cable box, there's no AirPlay, there's nothing attached to it. And it's got a picture of Jesus and his wise men, the Last Supper. What is going on right now? What message are you trying to send me, Lord? There's nothing attached to this at all. Like, what?
What you do in private shows in public. Reading shows up in conversation. Your diet shows up in your energy. Your discipline shows up in your confidence. You are what you do when no one is watching. It's the choice between the book or the scroll. Reputation is just your routine. The world doesn't reward what you say you'll do. It rewards what you've already done. You can't save your best self only for when it counts because it always counts.
The jetpack man might be back. An Air Force pilot just said they saw a man in a wingsuit while on approach to LAX.
We just had somebody cross above us around 4,000 feet in a wingsuit.
Are you serious?
A firm, sir.
That's concerning, to say the least. If you're unfamiliar with the original Jetpack Man, he was spotted at least 5 times in LA between 2020 and 2022. Interestingly, around the same altitude, these pilots saw the man in the wingsuit. If you have any theories, I'd love to hear them, and I'll put the plane's registration on screen if you'd like to go check out the flight for yourself.
I wanted to meet an alien. How would I do that? If somebody looks just a little bit different, like their ears are just a little bit odd or their nose a little bit odd, just go behind them and think real hard, I know you're an alien. And they'll go like that. They'll be caught off guard.
What if I told you they've been lying to you about creativity?
Let me explain something to you. Creativity is not coming out of you. Creativity is like the work of the universe. The universe, that's why they call them universities. The universe is a library. All we're doing is checking ideas out. We can pretend that we're being possessive, it was here before us, it's gonna be here after us. We're just checking ideas out, right? And what you would have checked out on one day might not be what you would check out on the next day. So don't not make the music. When you got a library card that works, you use that card every day.
A radio doesn't make the music, it picks up the signal. Same thing with you. Maybe the universe is one giant library of ideas, and every thought, song, business idea already exists as potential. And that's why your best ideas usually don't come when you're forcing them. They're gonna come in the shower, on that walk, at 2 a.m., when your mind finally gets quiet enough to receive. Maybe you're less of a machine and more of an antenna. And the clearer your mind, the better the signal.
Accepting that your inspiration and all your best ideas are coming from a higher source is the quickest way to get rid of ego.
This is one of the strangest fires on Earth that vanishes the moment the sun comes up. Deep inside Indonesia, in a volcano called Kawah Ijen, blue flames pour out of the rock and slide down the crater like glowing rivers. And the crazy part? This is real fire, not lava. It's sulfur gas igniting in the dark. When daylight hits, the flames disappear and reveal a glowing turquoise lake that looks like paradise. But that beautiful water is one of the most acidic crater lakes on Earth.
Did you see this? Elon Musk gets asked if he would accept Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior live during a show. Watch this.
We're wondering if you could do us a quick solid and accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior.
I believe in the God of Spinoza. But hey, if Jesus is saving people, I mean, I wouldn't stand in his way. You know, like I'll be saved. Why not?
Sweet, we did it.
Yeah.
I think he just said yes.
We got him.
All right.
We got him.
Did they actually get him? No, they didn't, and he definitely didn't say yes. But get this, he might have cleverly insulted the Christian faith when he said this.
I believe in the God of Spinoza.
Most people don't know this, but when someone says, I believe in the God of Spinoza, they're talking about Baruch Spinoza. And he lived in the 1600s. He was a Dutch Jewish philosopher, and he deeply criticized the Bible. He's even recognized as the founding father of modern biblical criticism. But here's the thing, Jesus Christ also died for Elon Musk, so there is still time for him to be saved. The Bible actually teaches that the reason why the end hasn't come yet is because God is being patient. If you want to hear more on end-time Bible prophecy, make sure you follow now.
You hope? Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f*** yourself.
But
go f*** yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
Well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
Something interesting. That's what's right there. I'm going to turn around and what is that? I'm standing in one place. Look at one. I turn and look at the other.
So we're talking about things that come out of the orbs.
Angels, angelic beings, created beings. They're made of energy, but in a ball of light. But out of that ball of light comes a glowing being. Sometimes they're 6-7 feet tall or taller.
Or 125 feet tall.
Yep.
Whatever they want.
They can mimic anything. They can mimic a flying saucer. They can mimic a drone. They can split in 2 or 100.
I've seen it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, in the room with Alex.
Yeah.
The little translucent.
Right. But I've also seen one split into 2 when I was with Matt Bell this past month in Florida.
Yeah.
This one orb rose and it just split in 2 and went opposite directions.
Yeah.
Job is not to tell you the truth. Their job is to give you clues. You're in a mystery school. You're in a mystery simulation.
We're to compete in the ultimate murder mystery game. Ultimate murder mystery game. Ultimate murder mystery game.
Steven Spielberg said in the interview following the release or right before the release of the movie Disclosure Day, he said that if aliens were fully announced and released and disclosed, that people would question their creator. There's a few sides to this fence, and they're literally showing us declassified images that now with AI and CGI, you don't even know what you're looking at here, man. And wait till you see the next UFO they disclose. It looks like a freaking potato, and that's literally what they called it. The UFO looked like a potato. Okay, so this is what I see coming. Now, he specifically said, what if he basically insinuated that what if aliens are creators of specific planets and that there's many gods that are just basically different alien species. He said something to that effect. Then we have Bill Cooper, who if you look into what happened to Bill Cooper, what book he wrote and what he said, he thought that one day we'd be told about aliens and it would lead to a uniting of all the world countries against possibly a alien threat and then have a one world centrally controlled power structure and no longer sovereign nations. So seeing this UFO thing is shocking to me because I also am seriously wondersome of planets and space and the whole thing NASA talks about. So I'm not really buying this story. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you stoked that these secrets are being revealed? Or do you think something else is going on?
Job is not to tell you the truth. Their job is to give you clues. You're in a mystery school. You're in a mystery simulation.
Why the fuck did I just see a doctor on TikTok tell me that the paper straws that are supposed to be sustainable and better for the environment are toxic to humans because the glue that they use to keep the paper in the shape of a straw is toxic? I'm tired.
Right, y'all. So no new calves have been born around buildings that, let's say, gather a lot of information. You know, let's talk a little bit about what noise pollution can do to different kinds of animals. Chronic noise can increase stress and hormones in mammals, and elevated stress can affect fertility and pregnancy success and offspring survival. And animals may avoid otherwise good habits altogether just because it's too noisy and the stress that it's putting on them. Many fish make noises during courtship, and boat engines and industrial noise and information gathering things can affect mating signals. Some fish show reduced spawning activity in noisy environments. Frogs attract females through calls, and in some species, females become less responsive when the background noise is too high. So, you know, in these environments where we have new buildings going up that make way too much noise that people aren't even thinking about when it comes to this because they're only thinking about water use. We could see a children of men type situation in the animal kingdom. So while Big Brother is gathering all your information, other things are happening in the background that we need to pay attention to. So remember, folks, keep your eyes open for everything.
Secrets the Vatican may be hiding. The true cross of Jesus. Undeniable proof of aliens. The Ark of the Covenant. Vial of Jesus' blood. The remains of St. Peter. Real bone of giants.
He's been standing for 12 years straight and has no plans to stop in hopes of seeing his God. But he's not even the most extreme case of penance. Dalal is part of an order known as the Standing Babas, and some of these men have been standing for over 30 years straight. Dalal's legs have swollen so badly he has a team of volunteers that treat his open sores so he can continue standing, which he plans to do until he sees Lord Shiva. Amar Barati took it even further by raising his right arm and never lowered it, which actually atrophied in place and has been stuck in the air for over 50 years. His dedication inspired a following of other arm raisers, some of which have kept their arms raised for 7, 13, and 25 years.
But I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it to kind of just live as normal a life as possible.
Goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
On behalf of Amy, I'd like to thank the devil.
Don't go fishing in Florida without polarized glasses because saltwater alligator or saltwater crocodile right there.
Now I'm gonna need all the fam in Florida to go ahead and get a pair of these glasses, man, because apparently you guys have an infestation of those alligators.
This is either a glitch in the Matrix, a Mandela effect, a slip in the timeline, or something, because I know this isn't right. Remember the book, The Diary of Anne Frank? Yeah, that was always called The Diary of Anne Frank. Well, that's not the name of it anymore. Now it's called The Diary of a Young Girl. When the heck did that happen? My whole life, and I'm old, my whole life, this has been called The Diary of Anne Frank. So I thought that's gotta be a mistake. That's just one book. Maybe somebody put the wrong title on it. Nope, everywhere I looked this up. Everywhere. Now it's called The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. There's no way this is right. There's no way. Have I lost my mind? Maybe, but I remember this book being called The Diary of Anne Frank. This has always been called The Diary of Anne Frank. Never The Diary of a Young Girl. Never. So something is way off, or my memory just went wackadoodle. Let me know what you remember about the book The Diary of Anne Frank, or the book The Diary of a Young Girl. And let me know in the comment section. Shabadoo Bushkis, Shabadoo.
Very real thing. It's very spiritual. There's some people don't believe in God, but do believe in the devil. Well, where'd the devil come from? Why do you believe in one and not the other? You don't believe evil exists? Will you say sing a prayer in a church and yeah, sure. All right, now we do this devil enchantment and da-da-da-da. No, I ain't doing that. I'm not playing with him. Yeah. You know it's real. So why would he not say, yeah, will you do all this? I'll give you all the desires of your heart, but I'm going to collect that later. And we see a lot of collections happen and happening. We see the collections. And when it's happening, everybody, oh, I can't believe they did that to them. Well,
Well, they made that deal a long time ago, and he's here to collect. I think it's a very real thing.
Tree was trying to tell us the elites were after him right before his passing, allegedly. Just weeks before his passing, he ended up leaving his record label very publicly as they pulled all support for him, and nobody quite knows why. Listen to what he has to say about his record label and going solo. Listen to this, y'all.
My album is no longer coming out.
They shelved
Love
it.
You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled.
No reason.
Parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare.
Says a nightmare.
No marketing budgets for music videos. No digital ads.
They pulled support.
Nobody really cares in the building, it seems like. I made a lot of money for Atlantic
Who'd
Records.
he make mad?
I seem to remember that.
Made somebody mad. Then as he breaks free, becomes independent, he is just starting his first ever world tour solo, and suddenly he's just gone. Now we have no evidence of this, but many people are screaming foul play and they're saying something doesn't seem right about this. Not to mention in his music and his art, he was calling out the elites a lot. And with all the signs we've seen in his videos that look like he's warning us of what's about to happen, people are saying, is something more going on? What do you guys think?
Fun brain fact, if you stay awake for 19 hours straight, you are just as cognitively impaired as you would be if you were drunk. But it doesn't stop there. It doesn't have to actually just be 19 hours straight. If you, over a period of a week or 2 weeks, lose 2 to 3 hours of sleep every night, meaning less than like 7 hours of sleep every single night, that cumulative effect also brings you to that level of cognitive impairment.
This is Otzi, the Iceman, and he had cold-loving yeast living in his gut. And then some researchers decided to take that cold-loving yeast inside of Otzi's gut and then extract some of the microbes. And then they used it to make sourdough bread. And then they ate it. And then there's this guy. He helped invent the Xbox. And he teamed up with an archaeologist and a microbiologist, and they took some microbes that were in clay pots. The Egyptians used to like to make beer and bread, and they used yeast, and some of that yeast got stuck in these clay pots. An Xbox dude and his friends, they also made bread and ate it because yeast is forever. No, really, it just goes dormant. You can send it to space, you can freeze it, you can do whatever to it, and it just goes dormant. And I want you to really think about eating something that's been around since they were building the pyramid.
Insane. And I rebuke this, you know what I'm saying? I rebuke this, you know what I'm saying? And I hope God forgives these for doing this shit right here, because why would you put a demon and call it the Grand Diable and put it for display for everybody that comes in this garden, knowing this is a tourist attraction site? That's up, bro. Like, just look at this shit, bro. Let me know if I'm tripping in the comments, bro. Am I tripping or this is demonic, gang?
What is the Freemasonry stuff?
It's basically, well, it's a secret society, but basically it's a form of Luciferianism where you become your own god, and it's a structured thing where that's slowly revealed to you until you get to the top. But all their rituals are inversions of Catholic rituals, and or they're basically taken from various forms of witchcraft.
So did it stem out of the Catholic Church?
Historically, it started. The reason they're called Freemasons is because the masonry guilds in the early during the Middle Ages, the guys would started these guilds to protect their craft of their buildings and that type of thing. And it was originally designed to maintain standards and that type of thing. But then it slowly morphed into by the time you get to the into the 1600s and then definitely in the 1700s, by the time it morphs into what we're seeing now. So by the time you get to like 1717, which is when it was officially established in France, it's already the whole structure is laid out. So originally it was to make sure that guys knew the craft, but then it turned into witchcraft over the course of time.
Jeez.
And now it's everywhere.
When did the Chinese land on the moon?
I have no idea.
2013. Did you ever see the video?
No.
So the Chinese landed on the moon in 2013, and they released a video for it. But pretty quick, that video was taken down, and they said, no, it's just a joke, because it was so bad. It was so fake. Because they didn't have, Kubrick,
We've been saying it wrong this whole time. There is a new Mandela effect, and it is blowing everyone's minds, including mine. Scary movie lovers, you are going to be all over this one. Do you remember this guy with the hand? And there's this scene, isn't there, in the movie where the guy in the wheelchair is hanging over the balcony and he appears and he puts his hand over and he says, take my hand. What does he say? Take my what hand? Because for years I've been saying, take my strong hand. In fact, I 100% know for fact it was strong hand. I mean, there is literal memes everywhere. Take my strong hand. No, he doesn't say it. Are you ready for this?
You're gonna fall unless you take my hand. No, give me your other hand. Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand. No, get it away from me. Take my little hand.
Even Marlon was interviewed the other day from Scary Movie, and they said, what do you remember? And he said, take my strong hand. And he was in the movie. Is the universe glitching, or have we just got it wrong for years? Please let me know in the comments. What do you remember?
And you know what? Him reaching down with his small hand and then telling the guy, hey, grab my strong hand, that is a lot funnier.
What would happen if the moon exploded? Would tides disappear? Would big chunks rain down on Earth? Okay, let's blow it up. You're gonna need a very big explosion to get the job done, because otherwise you just crack it apart and then the moon's gravity would go blah, blah, blah. So you need to send 600 billion of the largest nuclear bombs ever built. With that size explosion, bad news, most of the chunks will fall to Earth. But good news, most would probably burn up in our atmosphere. But bad news, all that burning up would create a lot of heat. So much that we'd get cooked. Assuming that we could survive that. Good news, tides still exist, but they'd be less than half of what we're used to, pulled only by the sun. Good news, maybe, the Earth would get rings, but bad news, we'd start wobbling. We need the moon to stabilize Earth's tilt, but most people don't understand just how far away the moon actually is. To see that, follow along.
He said, and he was a demonologist, and Monsignor Balducci said, no, neither angels nor demons require flying saucers. And he started laughing. And he was making the point that the technology and science behind this is really what confuses people because it's so exotic. And this is where you have to get into about 80 years of lost physics and lost technology, that when people see these things, they're completely flummoxed.
All right, this one's pretty crazy. You're seeing like a wooden door in this picture, and there's like something up with the wood grain. If you really focus, you'll notice that the grain looks like a cat almost. But if you take another minute to look even closer, you'll realize that's not the grain in the wood. That is actually a real cat leaning against the door, but the colors are so similar that it's camouflaged almost perfectly. Let me know if you could see the cat.
Hey, now that cat was blended in there pretty perfectly. If you missed it, go ahead and rewind that one back.
That is a big fat lie. Pandas do not exist. They don't exist in people's homes. They don't exist in the wild, but they do exist in the zoo. The first panda to be discovered was in the 1920s, and the first panda to be brought over to the US was in the 1930s by this woman. And you know how I feel about women. So you're telling me in over 4,000 years of Chinese history, they've never seen pandas until the 1920s? Bro, even in the Chinese zodiac, they have a dragon. Dragons are real, but pandas aren't. They've been lying to you about animals. This is called a fake animal. They have fake animals in zoos just to gain popularity, gain money, gain traction. But look at this picture. That's a stuffed animal, but they make you think it's real. The majority of pandas you see in zoos are just fake. They're animatronics, they're puppets, they're people in fursuits. They use everything they can to make you believe pandas are real. They get so much funding for it. You'll never find amateur footage of them in the wild. You'll get Animal Planet, you'll get nature photos, videos, people who run the show or whatever, and they'll make fake videos of it. You'll never see amateur videos of it. You will never discover a panda in the wild. You're telling me this animal only eats one thing it can only eat, and it only mates one time a year. Bro, this is fakest animal you'll ever discover. Even faker than dinosaurs. If you know anything about the Shilluminati or symbolism, what panda eyes mean, like, you start to understand everything they do is fake just to make money and just to make you believe in their lies. They love it when you believe in their lies.
You won't find bodies at Titanic. You won't find skeletons. The bones actually dissolve into solution very rapidly at that depth. What anybody who's explored the wreck finds is pairs of shoes.
Takes years for a skeleton to vanish, but the shoes, treated with tannic acid, they won't eat them. So all around the Titanic are the shoes. There's a scene where we were filming and we came across a pair of women's shoes.
Yeah.
next to a pair of girls' shoes. These were people.
These were people. Those shoes got to the
Those
bottom
double
on people.
They were in their cabin.
Yeah.
Because the cabin was all around the destruction of it, and there was a hand mirror.
This is the human element. This is what people touched. It's what they lived with.
This is your friendly reminder to not be sad on the weekends, all right? Cry during business hours. Get paid for your depression. Don't let capitalism win, twin.
This sword in stone is the real-life Excalibur, the one many believe inspired the legend later tied to King Arthur. Near the ruins of San Galgano Abbey, a roofless medieval monastery located in Tuscany, Italy, there is a chapel. Inside this chapel, called Montesiepi Chapel, there is a sword embedded in stone, untouched for over 800 years. It was placed there in the late 1100s by Galgano Guidoti, a violent Tuscan knight who claimed to have a divine vision. To renounce violence, he drove his sword into solid rock, turning it into a cross. And here's the thing, scientific analysis confirmed that this rock is natural stone, not poured or split, and that the blade goes deep into the rock.
No, slow that down. Slow that down. He's there. He's there. Boom. Gone. What is that?
If you see a face in a parked car, don't look at it. This girl was just walking to her car when she noticed a horrifying smile.
This is freaking terrifying.
Basically what witchcraft is, it's the inversion of the proper worship that's due to God. And so what they do is they engage in rituals. So it has the same kinds of things as Catholic things, such as sacramentals that we use, which are blessed items. They have cursed items that they use. It's basically a set of rituals and belief systems which use demons as a medium to bring about the effect of their rituals. Different from us, we pray to Christ and then Christ causes these things to happen. They basically do these rituals to empower the demons so that they can do it.
Is this what's going on at the Bohemian Grove?
It seems to me that it's at its root and core just basic Moloch worship, because they have their large statue of Moloch there.
Does a witch have power? Some people say, no, there's no power to witchcraft. But I would say that's not been our experience. There are some proficient witches who really can strongly influence situations. Where does she get her power? She thinks she's manipulating these spiritual forces. But as Father Gabriel Morth told us, the witches get their power from demons. Some people say, no, I have this innate spiritual power. No, you don't. Witches get their power from demons, whether they know it or not. And so this should be rather frightening to them. They'll say, I'm a witch and I'm controlling the demons. No, you're not. You have no control over demons. They're controlling you and manipulating you, whether you know it or not. I want to be very clear about that. You are not able to control demons. You're under their thumb. So the question is, what can witches do? Witches can do anything that demons can do. Now, there is a limit to that. Thank God that the Lord limits what witches can do and what demons can do in this life, which is good. Why would God allow this? Well, God allows people to do all sorts of evil things for free will. I mean, He allows us to do bad things, and one of those bad things that people do is they practice witchcraft. It's a very real phenomenon. I'm very concerned about it, and I'd like to warn you all. Anyone who's practicing witchcraft, stop it immediately. You're being manipulated by Satan, and the first person that harmed very seriously is yourself.
You got to be crazy if you think you're going to make Satan your ally. That's just like saying you're going to hang around a thief in the hope that he won't eventually steal from you.
This is the only video you'll ever need on witchcraft. Witchcraft is the art of influencing reality through intention, symbolism, and altered states of awareness. Witchcraft is not a religion. It's a practice. Some people use it within religious systems. Some people use it psychologically. Some people use it symbolically. For example, lighting a candle and thinking deeply about your goal and visualizing it vividly. A skeptic, which is called that focused meditation, but a witch would call that spell work. It's the mechanics that might overlap more than people think. See, when it comes to witchcraft, movies have dramatized it, history demonized it. The word just comes with a stench. Witchcraft is about you and knowing you. It's about inner power, understanding the inner world to influence the outer world. That's it.
So I don't know what's going on, but something is up there. Something is up there. It's the only place in the sky that's happening right now. Like, if somebody knows what it is, please let me know, but I'm pretty sure something is up there.
You're looking at one of the most detailed maps of the universe ever created. Every point of light isn't a star, it's an entire galaxy, sometimes whole clusters of them. This map was built by the Dark Energy Spectroscopic Instrument. So far, it has measured spectra for over 47 million galaxies and quasars. What you're seeing is the large-scale structure of the universe, how galaxies group together and trace patterns across space. Even then, this reel barely does it justice. The real dataset goes far deeper than what can fit on a screen. Some people see this and feel small, others just pause at the scale of it all. But what about you? How does this make you feel?
The danger is not that machines will think like men, but that men will stop noticing when they begin to think like machines.
Well, thanks to Elon, there's going to be a lot of people thinking like machines with those neural links in their head.
There are weapons that we have that will do 64,000 people a second with a laser through the medulla. 64,000 people a second. And those are run by, I'm getting in trouble now. The ignition, it knows where you are. It's doing this for everyone on Earth. And when you go inside the house, it's tracking you by infrared. There is no such thing as anonymity. There is no such thing as hiding. There is no such thing as escaping. They can see your infrared. They know where you are. They can see your face.
Do y'all see them shadows of kids on the bus playing, bro? That's spirits. There's no kids on the bus.
Y'all, isn't the fit cute? No, not you. I'm talking to the camera. Anyways.
I think I found him. Hey man. How long have you been here?
Oh shit, dude.
Mason. Dog. Mason? No, that's not Mason, man. That's...
What is that? It's not a person. Hey!
Morbid Facts, Part 992. A childless Brazilian billionaire reportedly left his entire $1.14 billion fortune to soccer star Neymar despite never meeting him. In his will, the businessman said he identified with Neymar personally, admired his relationship with his father, and believed the athlete was not self-serving, making him the sole heir to a fortune worth over $1 billion. The inheritance is reportedly still subject to court approval. A fox that wandered onto thin ice became trapped when the lake froze around it. After it died, people cut the animal free and left its ice-encased body standing upright as a grim warning marker to keep others from venturing onto the dangerous ice. On D-Day, paratrooper John Steele's parachute became tangled on a church steeple in the middle of a firefight, leaving him suspended helplessly above the battlefield for hours. Unable to escape and surrounded by violent gunfire, he survived by hanging motionless and pretending to be dead while soldiers fought and died beneath him. Today, a mannequin hangs from the same steeple to commemorate his ordeal.
Ford's new patent technology that watches you in your car and then tells the police. This patented technology turns future vehicles into biometric surveillance systems, using cameras, fingerprint scanners, iris sensors, and microphones to identify people inside or near the vehicle. One diagram even depicts facial recognition scanning of a passenger in the back seat. The system could compare that data against databases containing active warrants, deportation requests, or missing people to then alert authorities when matches are detected. Our own investigation shows that Ford is likely partnered with and sending data to Palantir's Foundry product. Palantir, founded in 2003 by Peter Thiel, received $2 million from In-Q-Tel, the CIA's venture capital arm.
There are two words that David Grush used at the UAP Capitol press conference that I can't stop thinking about. Sentient plasmoid. Not energy beings. He didn't say interdimensional entities. Sentient plasmoid.
I certainly don't have the compendium. It's a continuum from corporeal bipedal type life to, what I would consider like sentient plasmoid life, but there are several.
So that gave me pause, because sentient plasmoid is not the kind of phrase that someone would casually throw in as an answer. And then the more I thought about it, another word really stood out. Continuum. That's an unusual way to answer a question as well. So a continuum implies that there may not be a clean dividing line between biological life as we know it and whatever he meant by sentient plasmoid life. He wasn't contrasting two categories. I mean, he was describing more of a spectrum. On one end, you've got bipedal life, that's bodies, arms, legs, biology that you can touch. And on the other, sentient plasmoid life, not biology, physics. So, what is a plasmoid? Think of plasma as an electrically charged gas. It is the fourth state of matter. It's what the sun is made out of. It's what lightning is made out of. In fact, most of the visible universe exists as plasma. And under the right conditions, magnetic fields can organize that plasma into a stable structure that actually holds itself together instead of instantly dispersing. Physicists call those structures plasmoids, and they are fascinating. There's one phenomena that many researchers associate with plasmoids, and it's called ball lightning. You've probably heard of that. It's the mysterious kind of glowing spheres that have been reported for centuries that are still not fully understood.
There's an interesting theory surrounding Paid in Full that says the Chinese food scene at the beginning of the movie foreshadows the entire story. In the scene, Ace, Mitch, and Rico are sitting at a small table eating Chinese food while complaining that they did not get any soy sauce. Ace then throws a balled-up paper bag toward the trash can and makes the shot. Right away, Rico tries to turn it into a bet and tells Ace to do it again for money, but Ace refuses. That small moment says a lot about Ace. He is careful, humble, and does not like playing with money just to prove a point. But Mitch is different. He jumps into the bet, takes the shot, and wins Rico's money. Then Rico doubles down and challenges Mitch to do it again for even more money. This time, Mitch misses, and Rico immediately demands his money back. When Mitch cannot pay, Rico takes his food and tells him that if he cannot pay up, he cannot eat or drink. Fans believe this scene quietly explains all three characters. Ace knows when to walk away, which is why he survives longer than most people around him. Mitch is flashy and loves the thrill of money, but he does not know when to stop. Rico, on the other hand, shows exactly who he is from the beginning. Someone who puts money over loyalty, friendship, and love. That is why some fans believe this small Chinese food scene was not random at all. It was the whole movie in one moment.
You know what? That is one of the reasons why I love that movie, because you actually get to see the bad guy get away. I think Scarface would have been a way better movie had Al Pacino made it.
The human mind has one tragic flaw. It will spend infinite energy trying to control things it was never given a steering wheel for. other people's opinions, the past, the future, what your past lover is doing, who your future lover will be, whether the people in the room like you, whether the universe agrees with your timeline. None of it answers to you, and yet you've handed it the keys to your nervous system anyway. Everything that's out of your control should be out of your mind. The fact that it isn't is the source of nearly every form of suffering you've ever experienced. Every minute spent trying to control the uncontrollable is a minute stolen from the only territory you actually own, yourself. So stop losing sleep over verdicts that aren't yours to render. You don't get peace by gaining more control. You get peace by accepting how little you ever had, and pouring everything into the small, sacred patch of ground that was actually yours all along.
Well, you guys, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate you guys for watching one with me. Don't ever forget to do your homework. On our way out of here, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me. Hit that hype button and subscribe if you're not already a part of the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.